Hey, what's going on, guys? It's a pretty slow day here in the market, so I wanted to go over UNCY and what I'm seeing on this one, and to go over our indicators too. These are new confirmation indicators for our strategy specifically, but they're good in general for any strategy, really. So we have a volume indicator, the BB volume indicator. It's going to paint candles based on volume. So now I know that in the pre-market, I want a yellow candle to close over a predetermined level. If I see a yellow candle close over that level, that's the volume requirements I need. And if I see a white candle during regular market session, which I'll scroll over so you can see that, you can see some of these are white candles. That means we have high volume, and that's what I'm looking for. I want to see that high volume breaking above that level. What this has done has eliminated the fact that I no longer have to search for volume. So typically I would scroll over each one of these candles. And at the top right up here, you can see when you scroll over each candle how much volume it has. This one has 500,000 shares. This one has 11,000 shares. So I know that this green candle doesn't have a lot of volume. And I know that quickly by looking at this because it's not white or yellow. Yellow means it's picking up in volume and starting to meet the pre-market requirements. And white means if it's meeting the regular market session requirements. So I need to see at least the white candle closing over one of these predetermined levels to deem this as bullish. Now, getting an alert here on this one. As we can see, it's spiking up right now. And I know it's spiking on a lot of volume, again, because I can see that that's a white candle, which is a breakout candle. If I hover over, it's 600,000 shares on this candle. Now, a close above this 259 level is what we want to see to hold this level. If I hover over this line, we can see these candles, a couple green candles here. So it needs to close above this level and then hold above 259. If it can do that, 259 would be support, and we would look at $3 as a target. So that's all the way up here. So if we can get to that move, this would be a nice move from wherever this closes. It's going to close here in 2 seconds. Close there. So now we buy here, and then we're looking to sell into 3, so around 297. So it's a nice 12% gap, right? And we can add into the dips of this 259 level, and we know that we have a lot of volume here, so we want to see this hold this level. Now we look for those major reds. We want to see if there's any pink candles on this chart, and I don't see any pink candles for today. So this, in my opinion, is a pretty high quality setup. Needs to hold that 259 level. If it can hold 259, then we're looking for that level to hold as support. We're looking to scale into target at 3. Now let's take a look at this one and see what it does. Usually the best trades happen within the first few minutes after the trade. If it doesn't do it before that, then it's usually not a good trade. It's usually a red flag in itself. So we can see now we just tested that level, right? So that's your entry. So if you bought in here, you're adding into that dip. And now as it bounces back up, you should start to see some green on your trade. So you could take some profit to ensure profit on the whole trade if that's what you feel comfortable. You can always put your stop here as a hard stop just below this level, or you could even adjust your stop as you're in the green on this trade to ensure that you stay in the profit. So in case market makers come in here and wipe this candle out with a major pink candle or major red, then you'd be okay. You'd get stopped out somewhere where you're comfortable. So again, at this point, from that bounce off that level, you got yourself a nice little scalp there. And now we're looking for this level to hold. So white candle means there's a lot of volume here. So hover over this candle, 170,000 shares. And we can see over here the ticker countdown. So we've got 36 seconds left on this 1 minute candle. So these are 1 minute candles on UNCY. Now we can see this is a low float stock. If I switch over here, you can see it's a 9 million share float, which you can see over here in this new indicator that I'm building as well. So we have this volume indicator. You can see all of my indicators up here. The BB Major Red Spotter. We've got the Volume Hunter, the BB Volume Hunter, the RSI, the Vertical Trend Spotter percentage, and the spotter itself. And then we have table stats and RSI table, which is up here. So these are different indicators that I'm testing out and back testing right now, but most of these are available for the general public as well. So UNCY, again, we want to see it hold this 259 level, and we're going to see if it holds this level, and then target would be 3. And if it can get up there, again, that would be a 12% move. So if you put your entry here and you had a stop loss, even at the bottom of that candle, say, and you're looking to scale out into profit up here around 297, we'll say, right? This is a 13% trade, and risk to reward ratio would be 6. So it's a very favorable type of setup here. So it doesn't mean that it's going to pan out, but what it means is this is a more favorable setup than maybe this gap here, right? So maybe we don't want to throw the kitchen sink at this type of trade. Maybe we want to wait for a wider gap or larger gap similar to this one here. So let's see what it does. I'm going to delete this to see it better. It's bouncing off that level again, adding into our positions and into our dips. And if we see it close below, we just bail on the trade altogether. So it's closing here in 4 seconds. So let's see where it closes. closed there. Again, dipped right off of that level, held that level as support so far. We're looking for that level to hold and then get back up here to this white line, but we would be scaling into profit as it's moving up to protect ourselves. Now you can always move that stop loss as well, adjust it while you're in the green. So we're watching UNCY here. Best trades usually happen within the first few minutes, so this is a red flag in itself, but it hasn't closed under. So we just have our stop somewhere down here, right? You could have it all the way down here and still have a nice risk to reward ratio. And that's what we're looking for. And it may not work out on this trade, but what we can do is exit out on that stop loss, get back in if it has this breakout candle, a white candle, which you can see this candle ended up having almost 1 million shares traded. So we have plenty of volume and liquidity to get in and out of our trades. Even if it starts to go against us, we shouldn't get locked into a wide spread. Next candle had about 500,000 shares, 300,000 shares, 300,000 shares, now 171,000 shares. So yes, we're tapering down, but we're still up there with high volume candles, and that's what we want to see. So now we're looking for that test of $3. See that pop off of that level? So again, if you're buying these dips, you're now in the green on your trade. You're getting yourself some profit. You can hear it. It's all over the scanners. I have that on a separate screen right now, but it's all over our scanners right now. Needs to hold above 259. Keep in mind, stop would be right around this level. So we'd have our stop loss right in this area here, right? So that's if we had a hard stop on this. Of course, you could have a mental stop, so you could wait for it to come down here, but it is a little bit riskier, especially during market hours on a cheaper stock like this one with a low float. Showing 9 million share float. You can see if I pull my scanner over, you guys will see on the screen that it's the only stock that's been hitting the scan since, let's see, 10:26 a.m. This morning. So right now it's about 11 o'clock. So it's hitting the scanners there. If you look at our bullish momentum watch, again, same thing. It's the only ticker on this scanner. So our scanners are designed to eliminate the BS alerts. We're only looking for high quality alerts. And as you can see, these are the only alerts that we've been getting the last 5 minutes on ticker UNCY. And that's because, as you can see, these are high volume breakout candles, right? So very high volume breakout candles. We're looking for it to hold 259. We're still looking for that $3 test. But of course, if you guys are green, you could take profit into your positions, right? If you're adding into these dips, you should be green at this level. We have high volume. We're starting to test those highs again. 271 is the high of day for the whole day. And again, this was a break of resistance now using that same level of support. This is confirmation trading. So if we close below that level, that's bearish. We can get back in, but we want it to hold this level. So still watching to see what it does here. Typically, it's going to happen pretty soon, but we have a pretty slow day. UNCY is our lead gapper on the day. If I pull over our gap list, and this is available for all of our Discord members, they have access to stream all of my custom scanners. You can see UNCY is at the top of the gap list, currently up 20% from the open, 9 million share float, 35 million shares traded today. So I like to see that, lots of volume and liquidity to get in and out of our trades. If I pull over the volume leaders, same thing. UNCY is at the top with 35 million shares traded today. We can see the 1 minute shares right here, 253,000 shares. So if I go over this candle, 240,000 plus the 85,000, it's doing the math for us or trying to keep up with it. It keeps adjusting, or should. Then we have the 5 minute volume, 1.2 million shares traded in the last 5 minutes. So these last 5 candles posted 1.2 million shares traded. So that's a lot of volume, right? So that's our volume leader right now. So UNCY, it's given us those scalps, those 1 minute scalps, but it needs to hold this level. Close below is bearish. So if we close below this level, I look at that as a bearish move, and that's where I'd typically exit my position fully if I haven't already. So let's see here, closing in 1 second, did not close under, so it's still holding that level. Want to see it hold that 259. Again, it has not closed under that support level. A close is what we want to see to deem this as bearish. So again, if we have our stop somewhere in this area, we should still be in the trade, and hopefully it goes up, right? But we prepare for the worst. We have our stop loss ready just in case it goes against us. So we're still watching UNCY. It's taking its sweet time, right, to make a decision. So we're not bearish on it till it closes under this level, and we're still bullish up to $3 until it does that, right? So UNCY has lots of volume. We can see white candles. Those are our breakout candles. That's the BB volume hunter. And you can change the inputs. You can change the colors of each one of these candles. So maybe you want to see it as maybe blue candles, right? or maybe you want to see it as green candles. So you can change that right here in the settings. UNCY has bounced off of our support again. So again, if you guys are in and buying these dips and you're getting that type of move, it's a quick 2-3%. It's not huge, but you know, you ensure some profit, you lock in those profits, protect yourself in the trade, and you look to scale out into that green, right? Just to protect yourselves. In case it does knife on us, we're okay. We have our stop ready in case it does. We're ensuring some profit as it goes up. So the whole recipe here is working out, right? The confirmation strategy is working here. Close above 259, hold that level of support. Close below is bearish, and we're looking for $3 as a target. But we will scale into that profit as it's a pretty cheap stock, right? Let's see what the price was this morning. This started as a low around $1.99, so under $2. So preferably I like to see stocks over 2, but UNCY is what we have for our stock selection today. So we're still watching here. Now guys, just fast forward a little bit here. We're still testing this level, and these are 1 minute candles. So we tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's been about 12 minutes of testing this level without breaking and closing below that level. Obviously, that level is holding a lot of weight. So not having that level on your chart, I think that you are at a disadvantage. These are predetermined levels before we get in our trades. UNCY is closing here in 5 seconds. We can see that in the countdown. Closed at the level, has not closed below. The close there shows right up here at this, you can see the C is for close. Hover over the candle, it closed at 259. So it has not closed below. So yes, it looked pretty nasty, but no, it did not close below that level. So not bearish yet. There's another pop off this level. So let's see, about 13 candles now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 candles now. We've tested this level and held that resistance broken, now acting as support. So if you guys are looking to learn how to mark these levels just like I do here, I've got over an hour and a half worth of private videos for our confirmation strategy guide owners. So anyone who purchases the my guide and my strategy, which is the whole low float strategy that I use every day live trading, you also will get access to those private videos letting you know how I mark these charts exactly. It's a very specific way, but I think it's a very successful way. So it's holding that 259, needs to stay above that level. Close below is bearish. Not the cleanest of candles, but still it's holding that level, right? Multiple times now. So you know that's a good area to maybe have your position, and it's a good area to have your stop just below, just in case it starts to go against you, right? So we know that these are low float stocks. We know we need to protect ourselves in these trades, and that's why confirmation is so great, because it's built around risk management. We're focusing on risk management, and we're focusing on these levels so we have predetermined areas to get in and predetermined areas to scale out into profit, right? We know exactly where we want to get up to. Now, UNCY multiple test, another scalp for anyone who was in that trade from 259. There's 265. We're getting a breakout candle with high volume. Now 200,000 shares on this candle. Counting down there, it's down there. So we just had 200,000 shares on that candle, and we had a pop up to a high of 265. So again, off the 259, little 5 cent, 6 cent scalp if you can get that full move. I know I sound like a broken record, but typically it does it a lot sooner than this. But we're seeing UNCY holding that 259 level. You guys are seeing exactly why I love confirmation. Having that idea, again, if you just put your position here, you got in this entry, you pulled it over here, right? And your goal was to get up to that $3 level, which is even above what I have on the screen. So let me pull this up. Pull this up to that $3 level right there. 297 is good. And your stop is right at the bottom of that candle from before, that powerful candle, right? That is a 14% gap. And again, 6.3 risk to reward ratio. So very favorable gap. So our stop would be down here where this dotted line is, right? So we'd have this just like that there. So we're looking for this to fill. It needs to hold that purple line, purple level. We can see that the volume is tapering out again. That's okay. Needs to hold that level. That's all we care about. So we're in the trade. We're taking profit as we're seeing it, and we're comfortable, and we're locking in some of those profits, and we're looking for this to now hold this level and continue. Once we start to gap up, we're going to want to see it get through this cluster of resistance. And I wouldn't usually trade in this cluster because I do anticipate there's going to be some choppiness price action wise in here. So I would look for a close over the 316 level before I really deem this as bullish again once it hits these targets. And then I would look for a close over the 338 to maintain a continuation trade up to 362. We have all of our levels predetermined before this trade ever happens. So I know exactly where I want to get in and where I want to get out. And I also can take this measuring tool and measure the gap and say, okay, well, this gap again is 17%. Sure, that's favorable for me. I'll take that trade. And then you measure these smaller gaps like this one here, right? You measure that, and it's a 2% gap. Maybe it's not favorable for us to take those trades. So we see UNCY just tested those highs here. 269 was the high of that candle off of our 259. That's a 10-cent pop. Grinding its way up right now, right? Watching UNCY here test those highs. So as you can see, multiple tests of this level. And this video is running a little longer than I had expected. But I wanted to see what this would do. I wanted you guys to see exactly how I would go about this. So again, I would be buying into that dip. It needs to hold that level. I would keep a stop just below. Being that it was a cheapo and not a high quality setup, in my opinion, I think that I'd probably keep a hard stop. I think that would be probably recommended on something like this. But UNCY needs to hold 259, $3 is target, scale into profit as we see it, 271 is the high. There we go. UNCY is testing highs again, guys. So if you got in at this dip, you kept buying this dip, you're up now 5%. There's new highs. We can see that again all over the bullish momentum scanner. It's the only stock on the scanner. So we know exactly which one to be watching. We know where the volume is and where the value is in this market. You can see our high of day scanner. It's the only stock since 10:26 a.m. all the way up to 11:19 a.m. where it just made new highs. From 248 to 272, no other distractions or BS on this scanner. So very important. We can see it just tested new highs, and you guys get the idea. I think I'm going to shorten up this video. I might add it if it hits the 3. I'll add it, or I'm going to fast forward this video a little bit. So now we have this candle is now telling us that there is a possible bullish vertical trend. So if this candle goes green, that would be a bullish vertical trend, which is 5 or more green candles in a row. And we have an indicator that will let us know that. See that there, bullish vertical trend? And this is an indicator that I have built with my son when we put this together that is very specific to our strategy. So you can see that if you come in here, you can change the colors, you can change the what it says, what the text says, all that. So you can change different things. But bullish vertical trend, we can see there is 5 or more green candles. So if I click that, turn the volume hunter off for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 green candles in a row. So bullish vertical trend. So a retrace or a breather candle, a little red candle would make sense sooner than later. So maybe, again, don't want to throw the kitchen sink because I have this alert now letting me know. So guys, I'm going to let you go on UNCY. You guys get the idea. It needs to hold needs to hold 259. If it can hold 259, target would be 3. Grind up from there. Close below that 259 is bearish. We've got bullish vertical trend. So a retrace candle would make sense, right? So lock in some of those profits. And that's how I would trade. This is confirmation trading on ticker UNCY. Guys, appreciate you joining. If you guys learned anything today, thumbs up the video. I'll see you in the next one.